Hey guys, so this video I'm going to cover one of my favorite sweeping systems. In my opinion, this is one of the most powerful sweeping systems in jiu-jitsu. It's the cross sleeve sit-up guard game. It's a bit different than the sit-up guard game that I've covered with Lucas Lepri, where you control the far sleeve, so I'll show later on in the video how they connect. Before I get into it though, if you guys like the content, be sure to like and comment to help support the channel.
All right, guys, so we could get into this position a few different ways. I think one of the simplest is like if I'm playing a collar sleeve or if I'm playing a double sleeve and I just have this near sleeve control with a lasso or a De La Riva hook, one of the most common responses guys have here is they just posture up, so posture up. So when it postures up, I can keep control of this sleeve here just by coming up with my upper body. I don't try to fight it too much, I just go up with it. From here, I'm gonna keep my foot angled towards the bicep and I switch to this cross sleeve. Once I get the cross sleeve, I'm now gonna switch my left hand to the ankle. I'm gonna switch my right foot to the hip and kick him out and go to sit up here. When I go to sit up here, I wanna make sure that as I sit up, I clamp my left heel close to my butt to keep this in position. A big mistake a lot of people make is when they sit up, they're way too loose with this. So when I release this to go for the leg, he can start pulling his leg away, right? So I wanna make sure I always keep that close. So I'm here, I kick him out, I clamp in tight with the calf, and now I sit forward and grab this leg, okay? This is gonna be where it starts to differ than the classic setup guard that Lucas plays, and I'll get more in depth into that because it's not only in how you sweep, but also in how you set it up, okay? So either way, I'm here. So now the first sweep I'm gonna go for, let's turn this way a little bit. Okay, the first sweep I'm gonna go for here, once I go up, is I'm gonna try to feed this sleeve here. Usually he's gonna posture just a little bit, right? And this is gonna be naturally here. If he doesn't, that's fine, I can still get it. Once I feed this sleeve, I'm immediately gonna switch for this cross collar grip and I'm gonna pull on it and kick his leg out. He cannot post with his hand, so often his leg is gonna get kicked out and he's gonna have to post that hand on the floor, like this. From here, it's very easy for me to press his neck away with this fist in the neck and holding the collar, and I can just come up on this single leg very easy. A lot of times if you hit this hard, they'll just fall over immediately. Worst case, go ahead and start standing up. It's very easy from here to just run him down like this, come back up, all the way up, yeah. I could even try to kick out this back leg here, start putting him down and going for the pass from there. Okay, so that's the classic sweep there. We're gonna do the next combo. So again, I can set this up from double sleeve or collar sleeve. If I'm in De La Riva, it's actually a little bit harder to get from here sometimes. I've covered leg hug De La Riva a little bit before. I may do it in a future video because often he'll have my lapel. And if I get this grip, it's very hard to control where his hand goes. And if he's on my De La Riva leg, go ahead and do the De La Riva leg, sometimes it's hard to break this grip. So it's actually a little bit harder to get to from here. But nonetheless, if you are playing De La Riva and you feel like you can get this sleeve across, you could go into the position just as easily from here, right? But usually I like it from the collar sleeve or double sleeve because you're here and often guys posture to try to get this hand out, exposing this easily. Cross sleeve grip, switch to the ankle, push the hip out. So now the next most common response when I'm here, step that way just to her, yep, perfect. The next most common response when I go here is as I go for the sleeve, he's gonna deadlift up. So deadlift all the way up, okay. So when I'm here like this, I wanna feed this sleeve, but I can't, right? Because he's pulling away. If I could, I'm always gonna try as hard as I can to get a hold of this, okay? But usually what happens is he's gonna pull his arm back, right? Now there's no way for me to grab this. But if he's pulling hard enough that I cannot reach this, that means that there's so much force on this, it's gonna act almost like a handlebar for me to come up, okay? So pull even harder, right? See here, I cannot reach it. See now, this is acting like a handlebar. I'm gonna pull on this and look, I start to stand up on my left leg here. You can go around that way really quick. Right? And I start to stand up on my left leg. It's like a pistol squat, but you don't really need much leg strength to do this because I have so much force with the right arm. So when I'm here, pull really hard. See, I can stand up here and come up to the back and go for the finish from here. If you want an easy way to put him down from here, once I come up here, I like to grab this lapel with a cross arm. My right hook comes across and I'll block his tricep and drive forward here and put him down. You see as he posts that hand on the floor, when I'm framing here, it takes it out. It makes it easier to put him down. One of the most common mistakes people make here when they're trying to learn this is they go here, so start to posture up a little bit, and they want to do this one and then they can't do it, right? And that's usually because you're not trying this one hard enough, okay? So if you ever do this, you go for it and it just feels like that you can't come up, it's because he's not pulling hard enough. So commit super hard on this. When you go really, really hard on this, keep pulling it really hard, I can't reach it, it's so easy to go. My left arm, usually I grab the mid back, you could grab the belt, either one's okay. Right? Either one's okay. I can just grab mid back or the belt or the hip, and I pull up here, start to hook that over, and start taking them down from there, okay? One more option from here that can happen is sometimes when I'm here, I kick the hip out. As I do this, I'll start to feed the sleeve, but he pushes that leg down in time, right? So I still get this sleeve fed, but now this is trapped. From here, a few different options. I grab the collar, I can use my foot under the butt, post him and do the first one and go back up. But another one I like is kind of combining that Lucas style. So as he goes here, I'll actually hold both sleeves like this and push it down. So I'm trying to go here, exactly, and he drives in. I get this sleeve, and now I'm just gonna do the same Lucas Lepri sweep I did in that video, or that Lucas showed in the video. I hold here, I put my left De La Hiva hook in, block, and I'm gonna bump, and he has nothing to post on. And I can come up. So combining those two is a great option, okay? All right, so some key differences with the Lucas Lepri sit-up guard style on the far side versus this cross sleeve. The thing I like about the Lucas Lepri style, it's a little bit more accessible. So if I have the De La Hiva and I get the sleeve, I can push the hip out and we start trying to, step that way a little bit. We push the hip out and we start trying to go for this sleeve here. If he pulls away, I can start going for this lapel, and there's a whole system on that. Go back up. Even if I can't get either sleeve, I can just grab the low lapel and push the hip out here and start building here. So this one's really accessible. It is a bit more complicated and there's a lot going on with it, but it's easier to set up, and that's the big benefit with it, right? The cross sleeve, I think if you can just learn to do this one, it's easier to enforce. It's harder to stop, but the setup doesn't come as easily. You need to play collar sleeve, double sleeve, and when they posture, I really go for it, right? If I was playing collar sleeve and he had this like lapel and he was tight, I wouldn't really try it here because it's just, he's too tight on me. He's got pressure, I can't really do it. But when he postures, he just exposes it super easy and I go up, okay? One other thought with combining these is if I go for this cross sleeve here and just, usually when I go, like I have this cross sleeve, I try to go here, I don't like let go, I feed it at the same time, but sometimes he's gonna rip out before I get it, like I lose it. Okay, well now I'm in this sit-up guard position, I would just feed this lapel, and now this will naturally transition into the Lepri sit-up guard system, okay? And I'll put a link in the description for that video if you haven't seen it. So now from here I can start building from here, he tries to go in, I bump, get the tricep and come up from here and all that.